And coming down the tunnel, an opportunity here at the home for the Atlanta Hawks. Looking sharp and focused for the task at hand. Welcome and good evening. We welcome you to our Monday night broadcast of the NBA here on 2K Sports. With Doris Burke, Greg Anthony, and Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. And our special guest at the broadcast table for this one, the celebrated Shams Charania. Hey, Shams, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Kevin, thanks so much. Always fun to hang out with you and all your crew and talk basketball.
All right, I've told Doris and Greg and David, just buckle up because we are going to be on a great ride with you. And now, Washington's starting group. Simmons is out there with Coulibaly. And there's Fultz. Then it's Marcus Smart. And it's Sarr in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Atlanta, the pairing up front, Johnson and Capella. Daniels out there with Trae Young. And it's Reza Shea in at the 3 slot. Young against Fultz. Shots good from Young. Shams, we know former Wizards players have been on the rosters of 8 consecutive NBA championship teams. I mean, that is mind-boggling.
Well, maybe for Wizards fans, it gives them some familiar faces to root for deep in the playoffs. But listen, at the end of the day, the goal is for their team to make noise and for them to be on one of their deep runs in the not-so-distant future.
Here's Young after Ben Simmons bucket.
You know, you can't be overzealous inside when you guard Young. You got to be better at contesting without fouling.
The Hawks shooting their first free throws of the game.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws. And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Here's Simmons with the drive.
Wow, how about that drive? That was no mercy on his way to the cup, Ben Simmons.
Daniels passes to Johnson. Here is Daniels, guarded by Smart. And here we go. Fast break. Fultz has got it. And Simmons slams it in.
This close to the rim, Ben Simmons just leaves no doubt.
And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Now the latest CBA introducing the second apron, limiting Shams what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes and less of a chance of super teams, just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? I would assume that you do, to have a full understanding of terms like the apron, like we just talked about, or all the other things, the luxury tax, all the things that make deals possible.
It's one thing to have luxury tax, it's a whole nother animal now to have the second apron. And that, certainly for teams that are deep in the second apron, that limits their ability to go make major trades, to be able to sign players for more than the minimum. And we're seeing that happen to at least 1 or 2 teams around the league right now. So how will that impact things? But certainly, CBA being 50, 60, 70 pages, that's something you pour through before every calendar year.
It is just fascinating. Last outing for the Hawks, it was a loss to the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Shams, we know you grew up in Chicago. I'm assuming you grew up a Bulls fan. Who didn't? And you had to have a favorite player growing up with those terrific teams.
I was a big-time fan of hoops in general. Definitely someone for me was Kobe Bryant. That someone wasn't a Bulls player. We almost got him one year, but that was someone I grew up watching. Kevin, did you have a favorite team or player growing up?
Well, I love Kobe. I called every season of LeBron and every season of Kobe Bryant, and Bryant actually did stuff for 2K. As you know, not too long ago, before his passing, we sat down for a couple hours, but I hate to rank them because Kobe, Jordan, and LeBron are all right there at the very, very top. Hard to beat Jordan, right?
Very hard to beat Jordan. Obviously, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Kobe, for me, watching growing up, that was the closest thing that I had.
Hey, Shams, you're always on the pulse of those league-changing trades. We certainly saw some impactful ones last season.
Across the board, the Pacers, the Mavericks, they made deep runs, and they did so on the back of some big trade deadline moves. Those are transformations that excite all of us to witness. Even New York getting OG Anunoby at the trade deadline. This is a league that's built on capitalizing at the moment and striking when the iron's hot, and we saw multiple teams do that this last season.
That trade deadline was phenomenal for those teams you mentioned. Really impactful. How Young, after the missed three from Buddy Hield, and Okongwu slams it in.
Hard to miss the wide open man that time. Kudos to Young for finding it.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
For viewers, timeout's a chance to check your phone, grab a drink, but for the teams, it's all about business.
Well, there's something that the coach doesn't like. I'm curious to see which kind of adjustment he makes here.
Hawks making a switch here. Mann's checked in. The Atlanta Hawks come into this one following a loss to Oklahoma City.
Really a disappointing effort. That game could have and should have been closer than it was.
Listen, I don't fault the effort. That was there all night. It was the quality of play that was lacking. There was not a ton of cohesion. They've got to figure it out.
A nice shot by Young.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Here's Bamba, and the dunk by Bamba.
Well, you see the fluidity in the screen and roll game. Mo Bamba, decisive in his movements, is what allows him to convert.
For Atlanta, they've gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. Shots good from Young. Young's got 10 points in the game.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Hield from outside. Rebound by the Hawks. Young with the ball. Launches it. Drills it from outside. 13 points in the game.
This guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
Trae Young, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Hawks. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all, and he looks to be planning for more. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. Well, from what you guys are seeing from the Hawks, what are you thinking about their performance?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And we know this. Every team in the league now seems to be looking to play with pace.
You know, Shams, I don't know how many kids grow up thinking they're going to be an NBA insider. But clearly that is something that you probably thought about at one time or another. Did you think that was going to be your path?
Kevin, I knew at the age of 16 years old what I wanted to do, and this path I wanted to take an insider for the NBA because I loved playing basketball, I loved writing, and I had a genuine passion for transactions, for the behind-the-scenes stories. So to be able to tell that story to the fans, I feel like I am one of the fans. That's why I feel like I can relate to the fans, and so that's what inspired me mostly to take this career path that I've taken.
So connected. It is a pleasure reading you and hearing you.
Kevin, appreciate you so much, and just know the stories will keep coming.
So this is how the floor looks for the Wizards starting the second. Fultz is out there with Smart. Then it's Coulibaly. Then it's Simmons. And it's Sarr in at the 5 down low. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. I asked Quinn Snyder what he enjoys most about coaching, and the Hawks coach said the opportunity to compete in such an intense way. Also, the tactics of the game and the intellectual part of player development. It's rewarding to see and have a part in someone's growth and improvement. Kevin?
Maybe that's coaching, right? Growth and development. A mind for the game for sure. I've always respected Coach Snyder. Now here's Johnson after Ben Simmons' miss. Young with no one around. Offensive rebound.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Wizards trail by 6. And Simmons kicks to Smart. It's tipped. Here's Sarr. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. Late June, NBA free agency is such a busy time for you, Shams. During the start of that hectic period, walk us through your day. What's your life like? I've asked you this before in previous times you've been out here with us, but do you get any sleep?
I'm up 24/7 because the great part about free agency, Kevin, is you never know when you might get that call, you might get that text, when a player has committed, when a player has decided to go to a specific NBA team. That is what I live for. That's what I know the fans live for. And I'm one of those fans, so I want to make sure I know as well, and I'm able to inform in an appropriate, timely, responsible, and fair way, and accurately. So for me, there's not much wiggle room when it comes to sleep. I try to make up for it later. But NBA free agency, trade deadline, draft, those are time periods when I know I have to be on. I might be getting a call now, Kevin, actually.
Well, wait, I was just going to ask you. We're doing this game. I'm looking at your phone. It's lighting up. You're looking down. You're looking at the game. You're talking to me. You're doing two things at once.
I have to be multitasking at all times, Kevin. You know that.
Oh, it's the best. And so, here's Atlanta. Following the three-pointer by Buddy Hield. Back to Niang. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Let's take a moment to look at the 2K leaderboard and see last year's high-scoring teams. Number 5, the Hawks.
I just loved how this team attacked their opponents. You could see their confidence grow as the year went on, and the points really started to pile up.
Three-pointer, Hield. Johnson with the rebound. The Hawks leading by 4. Here's Risacher. And the dunk by Risacher.
Yeah, if you give Risacher a chance at the rim, he's going to make you pay.
On the wing, Hield. And the pass to Bamba. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And then Johnson with the dunk.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. .130 left in the second quarter. And Shams, what an absolute delight it has been having you courtside with all of us tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. It has been a true pleasure.
Thanks so much for the invite. I can't wait to do it again sometime. I'm honored. I'm privileged.
Oh, we are going to hold you to that. Thank you again. Oh, wasn't that wonderful? Easy to see why Shams has so many sources around the game. He's so easy to talk to.
Yeah, it's all about relationships at the end of the day. When the conversations come easily, that suits his purpose as a reporter.
No idea why he's attempting so many outside shots. It's not his day, and he needs to either look to drive or get it to an open teammate.
Count it.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint. And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. There's 42 seconds left to play in the first half. Pass to Capella. Over to the wing. Here's Niang. And then Johnson with the dunk.
It'd be nice if everybody took as much pride in his rebounding as he does.
You know what, Greg, he loves that part of the game, and it shows.
Well, but as defenders keep forgetting to box him out, he continues to just make them pay.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And he drops in the layup off the glass. And now it's a 12-point Hawks lead.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Three-pointer, Hield. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. Their transition game has been in full effect. A chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. With Quinn Snyder. Coach, great offense in the first half. What made it possible?
I think we're executing pretty well. Moving them around a little bit with some fakes. And guys are just playing aggressive as much as anything. But if we get a few more stops.
It's been good so far, Coach. Thanks for your time. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show. Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. Trae Young was the story in the first quarter. He had 16 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
They're running some great offense right now, working the ball in the good spots, taking what the defense gives them, not forcing up shots. We'll see if they can maintain that discipline in the second half.
Kenny, what's your take on Washington so far?
Well, it's never fun. When you're playing against a team that's on fire. This team was on fire. They showed effort on defense, but it didn't matter. They couldn't get the stops. I don't think the opponent could sustain this kind of shooting.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. GA, when it comes to the Wizards, they have a pretty spotty draft record over the past decade.
Kevin, it's tough to get things right in the draft. Plus, they have just had poor lottery luck, only selecting higher than 8th once in the last decade. But they have passed on some superstar-level talent.
The front court is Rizier and Johnson. Young is up there with Daniel. And it's Capella in at the 5. That's the group starting the second half for Quinn Snyder.
All the officials are all over that one.
The Hawks have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. We know the 90s were a different era, Greg. Either win the game or win the fight. Remember that? Do you miss that physicality?
Well, I will say, Kevin, it made for some great stories, but I don't think we're missing much without all the extracurriculars. And I think we have a beautiful game now.
It's good. And the Hawks lead is cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Ben Simmons. Young pass to Johnson. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. That's on Ben Simmons. And with this era of the Atlanta Hawks, Greg, they've gone as far as their defense has let them.
You look back at their conference finals run in 21, that was the last time they had a top 10 defense. So scoring's never been the issue with this core, but defense has been non-existent.
Okongwu's checked in for the Hawks. Fultz finds Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
Ben Simmons playing fearlessly and getting to all the spots on the floor he's comfortable in.
Young from outside gets the three-pointer to fall. Young's got the lead up to 12 now for the Hawks.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Young, good.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Here's Fultz. Here's Sarr. And Simmons kicks to Smart. Fultz. And the 3 off target.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart. 3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. There's been a lot of turnover in Washington doors over the last few years. Where do you think they go from here?
I think the first thing they're looking for, Kevin, is obviously a cornerstone around which to build your team. Recently, it was Bradley Beal. Now they are looking for someone to step up and be their guy.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Larry Nance is checked in for Johnson. Caris LeVert comes in for Rizier. Mann subbed in for Daniels. Now here's LeVert. Offline with his three.
You know, missed that one, but still a really good start coming off the break. 3 for 4 now.
Smart dishes to Fultz. The Wizards with another miss.
This has not been a good period for this guy. Out of sync, not letting the game come to him. He's got to settle down and make shots.
Rebounded by the Wizards. Nice ball movement by Washington. Okongwu grabs the board.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
LeVert in the corner. Young against Simmons. Okongwu kicks to Nance. Lock at 6. Man. Offensive rebound. The shot by Okongwu. No good. And so it's Fultz who brings up the ball for Washington, trailing by 13.
Boy, Ben Simmons, one of the most highly scrutinized players in the NBA, but I don't think you can doubt any of his defensive abilities. Cross-positional and big-time asset on that end.
And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Hamid Bamba, he's checked in for Song. Bay comes in for Fultz. Corey Kispert's checked in for Coulibaly. And it's Buddy Hield in for Marcus Smart. And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game.
Who wants a free t-shirt? Follow me in.
We got a moment now to check on how the points have been divided between the starters and the bench for the Hawks. Okongwu finds Nance. Man in the corner. Passes it to LeVert. Bamba with the block.
Well, this is one of Bamba's big-time strengths. Send it back, Mo.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Atlanta. Rizache is coming in for Man. 1:15 left to play in the third. Atlanta again missing. Wizards trail by 11. Here's Hield. He's got 8. Fires it up. The Wizards with another miss.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
Pulls up on the wing. Rebounded by the Hawks. Capella's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
I'll tell you, this guy is doing absolutely everything he can to get himself going, but the team is struggling because he's struggling.
You know, such a selfless player. I love how Young stays consistent in how he involves his teammates.
Harrington, that's good.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
The Hawks leading by 13. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Back to Young. Shot clock at 5. Rebound, Washington. Here's Carrington. He kicks it to Hield. And again, Washington with the triple.
3.
And so it's Atlanta with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Atlanta leading by 10. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. They've got Fultz. Simmons is out there with Koulibaly. Then it's Sarr, and it's Smart in at the 2 guard.
This is a good scorer who's got size and athleticism. Karis LeVert is not going to struggle to throw it down.
Fultz the pass to Simmons. In the corner, it's Koulibaly. And it's good, assisting on the play with Simmons.
The 3.
Koulibaly's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Wizards. LeVert kicks to Daniels. Feeds it to Okongwu. And Okongwu slams it in.
Well, he's such a good athlete for a center. It's how he's able to succeed despite being one of the smallest 5s in the NBA.
Pass to Fultz. Here's Koulibaly. And again, Washington with the triple.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
And so LeVert will bring it up for Atlanta. 8-point game. Here's Daniels. He's defended by Koulibaly. Here's the 3. And there's Daniels. That's good on the assist by Johnson. Johnson's got his 3rd assist on the night. Washington calls timeout.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. Brian Keefe talked to his team during the break. He was not pleased. He said, you guys look dead out there. Told them they've got to play with more activity. And then he said, this is not going to cut it. I have to see who's going to step it up. Guys.
Thank you, David. So it's the Hawks now, after the basket by Washington. Pass to Rizachet. Back to LeVert. Good ball movement here by the Hawks. 4 on the clock. Daniels from outside. They get it again. And Johnson is right there. And the Hawks lead by 11.
Yeah, it's been about the rebounding. Really, that's the dividing line in this game.
In the corner, it's Koulibaly. The basket good off the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. And Simmons slams it in.
Well, you can see Markelle Fultz starting to get comfortable, understanding how to thread the pass through the defense.
To the middle, here's Johnson. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Fultz looking around, and Simmons slams it in.
Great job by Simmons taking initiative in that screen and roll. The coaching staff has to love that.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They lead by 8. 1:51 left in the fourth. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight seemed almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
He's played up to his full potential tonight, and he's been playing to the crowd, too. He loves being the star attraction, even if it doesn't happen on a regular basis. Here's Fultz, following the basket by Trae Young. Simmons inside. He's covered by Daniels. Fultz the pass to Simmons. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Capella's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Young dishes to Capella. Young against Fultz. No good with the triple. Wizards trail by 10. And they pick up 2.
Well, make no mistake, Markelle Fultz, because of his athletic burst, can score on the interior. That's nicely done.
Young against Fultz. Lob pass to Capella. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
Well, for all intents and purposes, this game is over. Just a matter of time here.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That's on Clint Capella. And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaking.
There's just so much potential for Sarr. He's got that Wemby-like build with a lot of skill.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Nancy's checked in for Capella. George Niang comes in for Johnson. LeVert's checked in for Rizachet. Mann subbed in for Dyson Daniel. And here's Fultz. Healed outside. Three-pointer. Sinks the three-pointer.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
Boy, the three-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
Down low. The kick out to Young. And so the Hawks take the win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Trey, you guys had a look in your eyes tonight, so how satisfying was this win?
I mean, it feels great. It feels great getting a win. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm just here to help my team win, whoever we're playing against, and that's all I care about.
Well, you all certainly did what you had to get this win, man. Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.